Well,
All
Zenay,
right.
welcome to Senator. It's really great to have you on the show and chat about your rugby career. And it's been a really, really interesting one to say the least. So I'm sure as we go along, it's going to be interesting topics to discuss. You made your Springbok Sevens debut in 2008, and you were just 17 years of age. Was it a bit of a baptism of fire? And being on the pitch, was it a bit of a pinch me moment?
It was actually a very exciting moment for me. I think just the fact that I've been in camps for like about 2 years, waiting for my turn to actually make my debut. So it was a lot of fire in the belly, and like I really just absorbed everything and enjoyed the moment when I actually got my chance to go out and play.
No, that's excellent. That's brilliant. And your career's spanned 13 years. That's quite impressive. And you've obviously seen women's rugby sevens developed along the years. As well as it is going, do you feel there's still room for improvement? And do you have sort of any immediate concerns at the moment for it?
Um, yeah, I always feel that there's room for improvement, and there will always be room for improvement, regardless of how good it gets or how better it gets at so I feel that there's always room for improvement, and like at the moment, I can like really take my hat off to Saru, that is actually really putting in a lot of effort basically to develop the women's game, and in getting it out there. So like I feel that the step that they also took to make women's rugby professional, even if it was if they started with a smaller group like the sevens group, at least that was a stepping stone forward into the women's game. So yeah, but I always feel that there would be room for improvement.
No, that's great. And that's I guess a sign of you guys are really wanting to be at the best at the top, and you're not going to settle for second best, which is a great attitude to have. That's really good. Um, and you also made your Springbok debut in 2009 for the 15 aside. You know, moments like that are hard to forget. Um, but in order to achieve those moments, you got to stick to those good habits day in and day out. And you know, is that helping achieve the results you have so far?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like this time that we off and stuff also made me to reflect back on like where I started and like the work that I had to put in, um, and that extra effort that I had to put in to get to where I am today. And I don't regret those moments. Obviously, there was obstacles in the way, and you also have to deal with certain coaches, different coaches, and also the external stuff. So just reflecting on those moments and looking at where I am today, it's just like, yeah, just opened my eyes so much more and made me to appreciate the opportunity that I got to actually play this game. So yeah, nothing actually came easy, but I'm really, if I have to say it, I'm proud of the achievements and the steps that I've taken.
Talking about taking big steps, and you obviously very brave and very good at taking risks because, as many people do know, you're obviously going to be a firefighter, and that's really brave. It's brilliant. But obviously, you're glad that you chose rugby as a career.
Yeah, that wasn't an easy decision, because if you walk into a job that could have been your full-time job with rugby,
Yeah,
even though you're a full-time contracted player, your career can end so soon within a glimpse of an eye if you get in
true.
serious injury or anything like that. Um, but I'm all about risks, so and I love challenges. But I had to like really think about it. and sit down actually with my parents about it. But I don't regret the decision that I actually took to play this game, because that's my passion. I just grew up with it. I love every moment about it. So yeah, it was a big risk, but I do not have any regrets taking on this challenge.
No, that's excellent. Well, that's brilliant. And talking about what can be a challenge at times, you play the very difficult position of fly half. Um, was that a position that sort of you just picked it naturally, or you sort of molded into that position?
I actually started off at a fullback when I started with the 15s. But like I always used to watch the fly-offs play, the playmakers play. So like I never took my eyes off them because they were the steering. They always took the steering to dictate the game and stuff. But yeah, I never knew that I would end up at fly-off. But luckily I did. And I really enjoyed that position as well, because like I was always keen to whatever fly up would do or a player would do on the field. I was always keen to go out, to go and try it out and see if I can maybe do it better, or if I can actually do it. So yeah, but with my dad's background as well, because he was also a flyer
All right.
at a stage. So also with his background and his knowledge that he shared with me also helped a lot.
No, that's brilliant. Sure. And I think one thing he definitely taught you well is discipline. Because as far as I understand in your career, not one yellow or red card. How do you keep that composure on the field?
Yes, yeah, no. He really he drilled some things into me at a younger age,
Yeah.
because I was also like I also did athletics at school, so I was a 100 and 200 meter sprinter.
Wow.
Um, so it actually all just basically started there as well, because he was my coach. I didn't have any other coach, so he was my coach at the end of the day. And he really put in like the effort to get me at the optimal best. Basically, I never had a holiday though. So when we go on holiday, he will make sure that I train. So there was no off days basically. So
Uh, tough stuff, eh? Sure. Uh, but obviously, things do go well. And then sometimes results don't go the way you want, but progress is essential holistically. How do you bounce back from disappointments, and especially for like young players who may be listening in? How do you bounce back when maybe a game doesn't go well or the tournament hasn't gone well? How do you manage that?
That comes down to also like self-confidence and self-belief, and like I always put God first as well, and I always like tell myself that this is where he put me, and this is something I need to work on and take it with both hands. Obviously stones will get thrown at you, but as long as you keep your eyes focused on what you want, then you go for it. It doesn't matter what other people think or what other people say about you. At the end of the day, you need to seek deeper inside of you, absorb that negativity that might get thrown at you, and rise above it. I always make an example, or when I have like a bit of self-talk as well, make an example of a donkey that is in a deep pit. So he's been thrown in there, and stones are being thrown at him. Now, the donkey is clever. So now each stone, or every stone that's been being thrown into that pit, he uses it as a stepping stone. So each time when
Yeah.
there's a stone, he'll stand on it. Another stone, he'll stand on it. it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, you'll rise above it and you'll come out of that situation. But it also takes a lot from yourself to go and seek deep down what you really want. And if you really want it, then you have to go for it, regardless of what.
No, that's brilliant. That's a very good story. I like that. That's good. That's very good. Um, Talking about stories, you've appeared in two Rugby World Cups. Brilliant. 3 World Cup Sevens tournaments. And those are absolutely brilliant ones. Do you feel your career is the level where you want it to be at the moment, or is there more to come from you?
I feel that there's more to come. I will always feel that there's more to come. I would obviously love to play in my third 15s World Cup if possible. Then I know that I've really done a lot, and also just the fact that I, I obviously wanted to add the Olympics to my list as well. But besides that, I'm fairly happy with where I am, and what I've achieved so far. And it will just be another bonus if I could play in another 15th World Cup as well. But I said, like, even if I don't make it to another 15th World Cup, then I know that I've played my part in helping the team also to just get there at least. So that to me is already enough. Basically, just to help the team get to where they want to be.
Yeah, no, that's true. And yes, obviously there's a World Cup in New Zealand in 2021, but you must have some interesting tussles, I could say, between 15 and sevens, because 15s is obviously longer format, but sevens is exciting. Do you enjoy them equally, or do you have a slight favorite?
I enjoy both, but I always said that if I have to choose between 15s and sevens, then it would be sevens actually. But if I have to look at where I started with the 15s game. So like that's something that I would never neglect. I would always want to play 15s as well. But like really, I am enjoying both of them. Just a slight difference would, if I have to choose, then it would obviously be sevens. So yeah.
No, that's excellent. Then, just something that I've always wanted to know is how do you balance life and this fact that you obviously play rugby for South Africa, you've got social media on top of you, you've got your training, you need your personal time, good family. Goodness me, how do you balance everything? How do you keep moving forward and saying, hey, you know what, life is great without having everyone on top of you?
Yeah, I feel that it comes down to prioritizing as well. I know that rugby is my job, so when I'm doing that, then it's my job. So then everything else can be planned around that. So that's how I cope with it. So I wouldn't um, put myself under pressure if there's a whole lot of things that is involved. So I feel working with a schedule is much better than not having one, and then you have to jump around, and you find yourself being all over the place basically. So yeah, it's also important to have that balance, but having a schedule for me is really really important, and having that in place.
No, that's excellent. And then obviously you've picked up a lot of skills and you've learned a lot through your time. Do you see yourself in a coaching role when you decide to hang the boots up?
I always say that I want to give back to the community, and I will never sit around and with all the knowledge that I have, and not share it with anyone else. So definitely, that is something that I look at. It's just going out there and share my knowledge once I'm done with the game.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. And then sort of as we draw towards a close, rugby is obviously unique, and it's obviously got the power to sort of bring people together and just make people feel a bit better about what's going on. Do you think that SARU is taking enough steps to incorporate girls rugby at schools? Are they spreading the word out more? Just generally rugby speaking, are they taking the right steps to encourage people to play?
I feel through the programs that they're running, they're really doing something towards that. We would still love to see women's rugby start at a younger age, maybe at schools and stuff, of which we don't have that yet. But hopefully, there is also in the future plans to basically get some girls to to introduce them to the game from a younger age. And I feel if that happens, then there'll be a lot more depth and interest from all over. So yeah, it might just be in the future plans for women's rugby. And grassroots level at the end is very important, and the quality that comes from that.
No, that's absolutely brilliant. Well, I'm sure we're going to be watching you guys closely. You guys are in exciting times, I think, and hard work always pays off. So stick to your guns, keep doing what you do, and yeah, I'm sure great results will come your way.
All right, thank you very much.
No, Zenay, thank you so much for your time. Been really great to chat to you. You can see the energy and enthusiasm is there, so keep it. Don't ever lose it. Yeah, and keep working hard.
I will. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
No, thank you, Zenay.
All right. Stay safe.
Yourself, yes,
All right.
thank you. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.